Good morning. Welcome to First Six, sir.
Good morning.
So now, last time you were here when Nifty was trading at around, I think, 19,800 or so, you made a big prediction that the market could correct, 5 to 6% and Nifty could perhaps see 18,500. Now, we are not quite there yet, but the market has in fact taken a beating and we also slipped below the 19,000 mark. Is your view of the overall bearish sentiment to prevail still intact, or have things changed given the the positive setup that we have taken from the global markets since yesterday?
No, I think my view still remains the same. The sort of bounce backs which you see because of some good macro numbers, because of the global setup, I think it's very short term. And this market has actually turned into, from a buy on dips market to a sell on a rally market. So I don't see this market going up much further from here, maybe either possibly 50 to 100 points more on the Nifty, and then you'll again start seeing selling coming in. So my view remains the same that we could see levels of 18,500 levels or possibly below. In fact, I would start buying in this range of 18,000 to 18,500 levels.
Wow, so 18,000 to 18,500. We do not expect a major cut from here on. 80,500 is still going to be a major support for Nifty going forward.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't see the markets going much below that unless, of course, something really goes wrong on the, Israel-Hamas war front. Whatever we know as of now, I don't think will really bring the, markets down too much further. As of now, like I said, 18,500 is the sort of level where the market turns decently, well positioned for a buy. But then you can't really pinpoint a figure. So that's the reason I'm giving you a range of 18,000 to 18,500.
All right, sir. Now, US Federal Reserve, as the market expected, has maintained its policy rates, at 5.25 to 5.5%. And even the commentary suggested that rate hikes, at least for now, are done. But given that inflation is still significantly above that 2% target of Federal Reserve, do you think that Fed needs to do a little bit more tweaking, or is it time to wait and ride out the current momentum?
No, I think they've kept that room for a rate hike. Going ahead based on how the inflation moves. So I don't think we can say that it's done and there'll be no further rate hikes. I think that room is still there. But the way things have happened, clearly the markets have taken it positively. And again, at the same time, if you look at some of the macro numbers which have come for India, like, for example, the GST figures which have come, which has been decent. But then at the same time, we should also remember that the PMI numbers which came recently, I think yesterday, which came, manufacturing PMI numbers, they were slightly lower than expected. I think it's the lowest since February. So you can say on one side there is positive news based on which the markets have seen this bounce back. But then whatever red flags were there earlier and the red flags even coming now, I think will clearly keep that cap on the market, at least for the time being.
Good morning, sir. Keeping on the Fed and positive news from the domestic Indian markets indices, do you think that FIIs may return back to India, considering that they withdrew $2.5 billion last month, taking the 2-month outflow to over $5 billion? Considering that the rates may have topped out or near there, do you think that FIIs may come back now or may start to come back now?
No, because I don't see the FIIs coming back in a hurry. At least till the end of December. Because we should remember that normally by the first week of December, they cool off and then they are on vacation. So I think the earliest the FIs can come back is January. So, the way I see is till then, at least for the month of November, we could still see further selling coming in from FIs, because I don't think the valuations are still very decent or very attractive for them to come back in droves. Although there could be some buying in between, which you've seen in the past also. But overall, if you see for the month of November, I think it'll still be sell from FIIs. And as usual, you'll have the DIIs continue to buy because they are, flush with liquidity.
Now, sir, the IT pack is doing fairly well this morning. I'm assuming it's on the back of this higher for longer narrative being put on hold for now, at least by the US Federal Reserve, up about 0.84% on the, I mean, all the stocks, all the major stocks are also doing fairly well this morning. What's your overall outlook there, sir? Is, in your opinion, demand finally going to start trickling in if the rates do not go higher from here on?
No, I mean, if you're talking of the IT pack, I mean, I don't see the demand really coming back in a big way, at least for the next 2 to 3 quarters. And from the management commentary, especially of the, I mean, the larger companies, I mean, we have clearly seen that there is a decent amount of caution from the management side. So, I mean, I would wait to buy into IT, though it will be there on my buying list, no doubt. But then I'll possibly wait for a quarter more to start buying into IT.
Mohit sir, on Tata Motors, what do you expect them to market is expecting them to post profits north of 3,000 crores. How do you expect the stock to be performing?
No, I think I mean that expectation seems correct because I mean the way the sales have happened for Tata Motors and the way they've been leading the EV space, and we should remember that in the last 1 to 2 quarters we have actually seen the costs actually coming down. The input costs have come down, so the margins have to improve. So clearly, I mean, I'm also the same view that we could see those levels of profitability of 3,000 crores plus. But at the same time, I mean, we have seen this stock not really going anywhere, at least in the near past. So with this sort of earnings, we could see some amount of bump up.
Sir, coming to another stock that has been in the news for all sorts of reasons of late, and Adani Enterprises, they are going to post their results today. Now, recently, they have been in the news on two fronts. They have secured 700 crores through 70,000 non-convertible debentures. And also in a separate development, the Abu Dhabi-based international holding company, IHC, has announced that their stake in Adani Enterprises is 5% now. How do you expect the stock to be performing with the results coming in today?
No, I don't think the results will really have any sort of an effect on the, I mean, Adani stocks, I mean, Adani Enterprises or the Adani other group stocks, because the amount of negativity which is still there in the public's mind about the group, I really don't see, I mean, these stocks really bouncing back based on the earnings. So I think most of the people are ignoring, especially the domestic mutual funds and the HNIs. So people are basically using it from, I mean, more of a trading perspective than an investment one. So, I mean, I would suggest buying at this point of time.
So Adani Enterprise, just to clarify, is a buy in your opinion, given despite the correction that we have seen about 7% odd in the last 1 month or so?
No, that's what I mean. You, like if the earnings are good, possibly we could see some amount of bounce back. But then people would utilize that only to trade. And like I said, it's not an investor stock. I mean, although we have had some of the FIs coming in, some of the major investors are sort of coming in. But I really don't see, I mean, at least the domestic investors, domestic institutional investors, I mean, buying Adani stocks in a big way.
Now, Mr. Baliga, keeping it with the earnings season, I think we are in the third week. We are ending the third week of Q2 earnings. What's your overall assessment of India Inc.'s performance so far? Any particular sector that stands out?
I think, I mean, overall earnings have been good in the sense it was slightly better than expected. IT has disappointed, no doubt. But at the same time, we have seen some of the specialty chemical companies continuing to perform slightly below expectation. So we have seen like a further correction in those stocks. But then one of the sectors which actually stands out is auto. And again, we have like Tata Motors earnings today. So overall, I think the auto earnings would be good for Q2. And that is what I think we should outperform in a market, I mean, where I'm feeling that the market should correct. But auto sector is one which can possibly outperform.
All right, that's the view coming in from Ambareesh Baliga. Sir, always a pleasure talking to you. Appreciate you joining us on First Take this morning.
Thank you.